The GORECAST is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the station of decapitation without your head.
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is for TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Studio, we're in.
Hello!
What's going on, people? Oh, welcome to another.
No.
Giz's eternal struggle with technology. Strifes on.
No. Wikipedia page is just... No. It's fine. It's grand. We're all good. We're all good.
Shane's laughing at mature audiences, which...
What mature audience? Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're for mature audiences.
Yes.
We don't act mature, but it's mostly because Misha here's got a mouth like a sailor on him. And we got complained before.
The fuck you say?
The fuck do you say? We got complained before. And
Yeah.
then politely told the guy to fuck off who complained us.
Because we're Irish and apparently we're good at politely telling people to go fuck off.
And then...
Yeah. Anyway.
and then warning.
Yeah.
These lads curse a lot.
So tonight's show is...
Impromptu. Unexpected. Unplanned.
Seat of our pants.
Some would say unrehearsed.
They're always unrehearsed.
They're always technically... Some would say under-researched. How about that?
Alright, I admit, one of the films I
Not
haven't
under-researched
seen
that we can't keep you entertained, but under-researched compared to the normal levels of facts that you have.
I've seen 1.5 of the films, and I saw the other one a long time ago, so I'm sure I can remember stuff.
And it bugs me, because the one film you haven't seen is a fuckload of fun. It's a fuckload of fun.
I remember one of the funniest gags in it, and I have a funny story about it when we get to it.
What has happened today was we had a guest planned, a very special guest, but due to some scheduling issues, that didn't happen. So now myself and Giz have decided to talk about bugs. Not little bugs. Big
fuck
bugs.
off ones.
Big ones. Like the smallest one I can think of is about this big.
That big, and it was a baby.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Doesn't count.
Basically, insects have been used in the horror industry since the 50s.
Guten Abend, Molly.
Oh, hey Molly.
And Shane. Actually,
and Shane.
Everyone waved to Shane.
And Molly.
There. That's out of the way. Studio audience waved. Everyone's waved.
Yeah.
Dog waved. It was adorable.
A little bit worrying. Anyway.
And where did he get that thumb from?
Yeah. First there was 3 heads, now there's a thumb there. It's only a matter of time, dude. Anyway.
Full-grown man dog.
Insects, to be perfectly honest, have been used in the horror industry for decades because, quite frankly, they are...
Horrible looking.
Yeah, they are completely and utterly alien to every other...
They got legs like this, and they got mandibles like that, and they got eyes like this, or occasionally eyes like that.
Yeah, and, thoraxes and fucking...
Tori.
Exoskeletons.
Exoskeletons.
They crawl up things.
Some of them can stab you and they die afterwards. Some of them
stab
can
you
stab
and
you
they
and don't
don't
die
die.
afterwards, which is unfortunate.
Some can bite you and pump you
Waspy
full of
fucks.
poison.
Yeah. So that's just normal bugs that we were discussing.
Yeah.
Some of them have 8 legs, and for no apparent reason have 8 legs, which for no better reason to crawl over your face in the middle of the night.
I'm pretty sure it also makes them damn fine predators.
It does make them damn fine predators, and it makes them really good at sticking to walls, and it makes them really good for inspiring superhero comic book characters.
Yes, addictive computer game.
And addictive computer game comic book characters.
Oh, damn.
And really entertaining web slingers that I shouldn't get a laugh out of because I'm 34.
But they're brilliant.
But they're great.
Anyway, the point
Little
is...
spunk throwers, as I like to call them.
Right.
Have you seen them? Have you seen the ad?
We're not just... Okay, anyway, back on topic.
Well, that's another company we're not going to get sponsored from ever again. Or ever in the first place.
Yeah. As a result of insects being, quite frankly, freaky looking, as my partner so aptly described, they have been...
That just looked like boob crap in the push.
I'm not going to say anything. They have been used for inspiration in horror movies for decades, whether it's insect-like creatures themselves, or just the look of them inspiring the design of other creatures. Most notably, I think Alien is, off the top of my head, one that bounds to mind.
Or some of them melding with other humans.
Yes, Jeff Goldblum.
Cronenberg. Fly.
We're going to have to cover that at some point. It's
Fly.
going to be.
I would like to start a series. Actually, seeing as Horror Amino people and stuff are all in the chat room. And Shane,
cool.
Although Shane's Horror Amino people now as well. Not that I'm trying to get everyone to come and follow us in Horror Amino.
Anyway.
I'm just saying, if I can get them all in one place, life would be just so much easier. For Johnny Deadly's convenience.
Yeah.
I would like to start a series of original versus remake. We have talked about it several times on the show.
We've done kind of stuff like that before. You just want a good excuse to review Cronenberg.
Yeah, because I was going to say double thing as well.
Triple.
Oh. Yeah, because you get the prequel sequel.
Yeah.
And the actual sequel.
Yeah, which were awesome. Okay, so probable future shows like that.
Probable. Could also be a probable TV show thing, because we like tying everything in together.
Yeah, why not?
Synchronicity is the word.
Getting back on track.
I'm not as fucked up from the sleep deprivation as I thought I was going to be. A little more chattier than I would be.
I think it's just overtired adrenaline.
I think it's this massive cup of coffee.
That's probably helping matters, yes.
You see me drinking, I'm drinking tea. It's a cup of coffee.
Apart from the...
I'm going to share this on Twitter too, as I say.
Okay, you do that. Apart from the physical aspects of insects...
Be quiet, beans.
A general knowledge of how they actually live is rather horrifying as well.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that a lot of them are, like I said, they're going to shoot their prey with toxins. They're going to, in some cases, shoot them with acid to dissolve them from the inside out. There's ants that do that.
Yeah.
There's ants that will fire acid at you.
Yeah, and there's fire ants.
Yes,
they're just angry fuckers.
Their bites are just lethal.
Yeah.
The digestive tract of a spider generally liquefying its prey before eating it, often keeping its prey alive for days or even weeks. I once saw, no fucking bullshit.
Good little savers, spiders. Not a very well known fact.
Yeah.
Good little savers. They could keep something there for months.
One of the most terrifying and
wrap
awesome...
it up in a web that for some reason stops it decaying, and then eat it when it's appropriate.
Mummification was probably learned from the spiders. One of the most bizarre and cool and real life things I ever saw. Swear to the gods. I'm sitting on my motorbike one day, just about to fucking start it up, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a daddy long legs going, and just a wasp, just in out of nowhere, takes it, drops it onto the ground, and it latched around and just ate the daddy long legs in front of me. And to be perfectly honest, that right there, from a certain point of view, was truly horrifying.
You know what I'm going to say.
Chicken wasp?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck your fucking daddy long legs. I was eating chicken at a barbecue and a wasp came down and took my fucking chicken. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. You keep talking there for a sec. I'm going to source this out. We'll do it as a little clip at the end of the show.
The chicken wasp was...
You know, fuck me. I never thought chicken wasp would come into such an appropriate level on the show. Thank you, chicken wasp.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Once again,
I bet you I deleted the fucking video now.
It's up on YouTube, dude.
Yeah, I bet you I deleted the video now or some shit like that. And no one's looking at chicken wasp now.
Anyway.
It definitely isn't.
My point is that because insects, because of their lifestyle, because of their eating habits, most notably, I guess, is the best way of putting it. Jesus, tap dancing Christ, there he is. Wow, chicken wasp. Anyway, because of their dietary requirements and how they eat and how they hunt, how they stalk their prey, combined with their look, combined with just their behavior in general, usually a hive mind, which is always a fun thing to play around with because, you know, you never get them all until you take up the center of the hive, until you whack the queen, as we've seen in Aliens and numerous other films.
Now that I watched Chicken Wasp here for a moment, do you know what we're going to do at the end of the show? I'm just giving you time to prep. Do you remember the entertaining David Attenborough-esque voiceover?
Is that not what this is?
No, that's Grum doing the David Attenborough. No, but do you remember you and I were going to do full-blown Attenborough? Like a voiceover. It's been an impromptu night.
Yes, it has. It's a distinct possibility we might be doing an impromptu voiceover of a clip of something that happened. Gee, I'm watching it now and it's just, man, he was a tenacious little bastard, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Once again,
worst part is, about this little fucker. I'd given him some fucking chicken earlier.
Yeah.
That's the fucking thing. I was like, leave him off. Leave him off. And then he came back like a fucking asshole.
Didn't he bring back buddies at one point?
Yeah, there was suspicion that it wasn't always the same chicken was.
Yeah, we figured there was a conveyor line because this, typical of insect behaviour, once they suss out prime food source, they keep coming back, which is also worked
I have to give you great credit there for taking my mind for it and bringing it back into.
It's what I'm good at. It's what I'm good at. It's actually these behavioural aspects that I suppose some of the best films use as plot devices and use as ways for the characters to not only deal with, but at times thwart the insect, or vice versa. Use them as dumbass moves by the character and some guy going...
Well, there's also the fact that, like, the insect has that primal instinct that you were talking about. And humans can overthink things sometimes. Now, don't get me wrong. You put me and an ant in a spelling bee, I'll fucking win that spelling bee every day of the week, possibly. As long as it's not over the phone, because autocorrect hates me. Autocorrect. I do voice notes now. That's how bad autocorrect is. But you take an ant and you multiply it by 50 times the size. They're fucking good at killing shit. Don't need to think about it. It's just what they do. Yum, 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 yum.
You know, it's weird.
Pick it up, lift it off, eat it. Pick it up, lift it off, eat it.
Despite the fact that we're going to be reviewing a film that is basically that subject matter, for me, anytime I think of giant ants, I think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes, that was a great movie.
Yeah,
that was a great movie.
He was
Rick Moranis.
He was that ant was a tenacious little bugger, and by the gods, he fought. Yeah, he was cool.
Do my Twitter tweet. He wasn't. Yeah, that fire ant. Or he wasn't a fire ant.
He wasn't a fire ant.
He was a cool ant though.
Yeah, he went up against something bigger than him. I remember that.
It was like a bigger ant.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because he was like, these humans are cool.
Yeah,
and the other ant was like, those humans look tasty.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat them.
You eat them, and then he got fucked up. Or was it a big beetle?
Beetle.
A big beetle. We've established Johnny's memories and
what?
Back in Decade 6.
Anyway, I think it's safe to say that insects are undoubtedly always going to be a part of the horror genre, whether as antagonists themselves or being used as basically weapons by other people. I can think of a half dozen occasions where the creep factor is upped because whoever the bad guy is in the film happens to have a bunch of insects, and our idiot heroes,
that, isn't it?
Yeah, our idiot heroes have managed to stumble into a nest, and all of a sudden they're trying to keep calm as a spider is crawling.
If only
over their
I
face.
had an army of 50-foot insects, I could take over this world. Oh, mein Herr.
1 minute.
Eine Minuten.
Yeah.
Ich habe a surprise for you. Open the door. All the ants. Army of ants. Quinky dinky.
I think, to be honest, after the 50s, it wasn't really until the 70s that you kind of had a explosion of insect stuff again, and part of that was due to
Sci-fi.
Well, yeah, but also that would have been mainly the 50s thing. But for the 70s, it was actually more the natural disaster kind of riff. There was a lot of films, Towering Inferno, a few others, and
Dave Cherry. Boy Cherry.
Boy Cherry. Films like Towering Inferno and a few others, whereby the
Oh, and Jesus is here as well. Peace be with you. And
Jesus.
also with you.
I didn't want to say it.
Had to be done.
Yeah.
I could have let my hair down. I'd be Limerick Jesus. No.
But yeah, as I said, the 70s, the natural disaster film, I suppose, best way of putting it, led to the reintroduction of insects in the form of generally killer bees. There was this mad craze, I think, in the 70s about African killer bees. So there was a couple of films, and then there was us.
Wasn't there some bee found over there that made science, like people in the world of the science were like, fuck, that's a big bee. And then, Jesus, imagine if 5,000 of them were biting you or stinging you.
Exactly. See, that's the mindset that led to a number of films. There was actually a couple of made-for-TV movies, and then
a couple of made-for-movie movies.
Yeah, there was a big budget film called The Swarm that got completely overshadowed by these made-for-TV movies, and as a result, it's seen as a total flop. It's 2.5 hours long. It's not that bad of a film. Michael Caine is over the top at times, but he's Michael Caine.
Well, it's the same way And just to clarify, this is not me talking ill of Sharknado or anything. I'm just using it as a comparative.
Mm.
It's the same way that due to, after the Sharknado success, the influx of randomly strange shark movies that came up afterwards, anytime you see a shark movie now, albeit on television or on the big screen, unless it's a well-established shark movie, you're kind of like, oh, this is going to be a bit hokey, isn't it? Like the 50 feet down, was it?
What?
Girls go scuba diving, sharks.
50 meters.
50 meters down.
Yeah.
Like that. I thought that was going to be hokey. Fucking riveting.
That was a brilliant
That was a
film.
great movie.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. Sharks outside of a box. Who would have thought it would have been so entertaining?
Anyway,
Speaking of bugs, also outside of a box, I presume. Otherwise, they wouldn't be a real issue.
I don't know, one of the bugs is in a box and he became an issue. In the apartment.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Anyways, shall we start off with the first?
Moving swiftly along.
Yes. We figure we might as well start with, quite frankly, the film that began the trend of insects in horror, properly anyway.
Pretty much the first one, I think.
Yeah, it was definitely the first one to have giant insects because up until that point...
Well, it was definitely the first one that people were like, we're going to put that in the book.
Yeah. But up until that point, for the most part, anytime you had oversized, monstrous creatures that tend to be dinosaurs, lizards, creatures of fantasy, and Warner Brothers wanted to try and capitalize on the success of The Creature from 50,000 Fathoms. And we're looking for the next thing, and sci-fi is big, and just the ants. The ants were the way to go. And as a result, we ended up with Them! From 1954, a piece of sci-fi horror classicana.
Who's coming to take over the town? Them.
Them.
Them who? Them.
The title, of course, comes from the screams of the little girl when she eventually becomes... Well, she's comatose for the first part of the movie, understandably,
Thankfully.
after seeing the madness that she clearly saw at her little caravan thingy with her family. And yeah, when she eventually comes out of it, all she can say is, Them! Them! I'm not doing a girly scream because I can't. You can.
I'm not feeling.
Not feeling
I need
it
to
right
be
now.
on a certain energy level
Yeah.
to do that, and I don't think I'm there today. I can do like a low dismissive grunty then. Them. Batman.
The story of Them starts with this little girl being found wandering the desert by Sergeant Grayson. Yes.
Sergeant Johnny's pulling up the name of this now just to clarify. Grayson does sound correct though.
Yeah, it does, I think. Because it was Peterson and Grayson, I think. Peterson was the Fed.
Due to it being an impromptu episode, a lot of movies got shoved in a very short space of time.
Yeah, like the space of a day.
Consumed. Lots of bugs.
Awful lot of bugs. Anyways, this girl is found in the middle of the desert and catatonic. There's a cop car and a plane out looking because it's the middle of New Mexico. So the plane spots a car and a camper van further on down the road. The cops go and investigate. The camper van is completely torn apart. It's clearly where the girl came from. There's she's holding a doll, and part of the doll is found inside there, along with a scrap of what's her dress. The 2 seconds now. Damn it, I had it the wrong way around. It's Sergeant Peterson, and then the FBI agent is Agent Graham. Concern it. Sergeant Peterson calls for backup and an ambulance to take the kid away. There are strange markings found around the place. They can't quite be attributed to a cat or anything like that. There's the fingerprints were taken. There's no sign of any attacker. Well, there's no way of figuring this out. There's a sandstorm moving in, so for the sake of things, Peterson and his partner decide to go to a local store, general store, where it's
called Store.
Johnson's General Store. That's it, and it's Paps Johnson is the guy that runs the place.
Yes, but it's Paps Johnson. Store.
Yeah, they figure, he's probably met these people, probably knows what the score is. Unfortunately, when they get there, Johnson's store is a wreck, and old Pap Johnson is found, somewhat dead. Yep. Great big renting hole in the side of the store.
Yeah.
Sergeant,
JCB like.
yeah. Sergeant Peterson's partner
See what I did
goes. Yeah. Sergeant Peterson's partner has to stick around, kind of investigates the hole. Peterson goes off, gets back up. When he comes back, no sign of his partner. and just basically mayhem.
Yeah.
They decide to send the imprint, the cast that they made of the print, around to basically around to the different scientific communities.
Do you
trying to
have
figure
that
out,
coat? Will you look at this for me, please?
do you recognize it? And sure enough, they get a hit. They get doctors. Is it Medford? Medford. They get Doctors Medford, where it's Senior Doctor Medford and his daughter, Dr. Pat Medford. One
The
would assume-
Medfords.
Yeah, one would assume short for Patricia. It is Patricia. Ha, there we go. Harold and Patricia Medford. I should have just looked up in the first fracking place, but no.
It's like I place things so conveniently for you. You just don't mind.
No. Anyway, Harold Medford is remarkably tight-lipped about what he suspects might be going on.
Yep.
Peterson brings him around to a few different places. They discover that the family that died is actually the family of an FBI agent who was basically on holidays. So
Convenient.
Yeah, well, it's convenient enough to warrant the attention of FBI agent Robert Graham. Yes?
Yes.
Who also comes in. Himself and Peterson basically team up and investigate different cases whereby trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Eventually, they run into basically a giant ant, which confirms Medford's theories, which he was keeping to himself. And
This looks like an ant, but much, much bigger.
well, it's about 9 freaking feet, and they have to shoot it with
9 feet was 9 feet was the smallest one that logged.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you're any good with feet or things like that. That's a big fucking ant.
It is.
That's a big fucking ant. That's a me and a half size ant.
Yeah, it's like 3 me's.
That's 3 U's.
No, it's
No,
3
that's
me's,
not.
3
That,
foot.
no, you're not 3 foot. That would register you as different.
No leprechaun jokes from the
Any of the promos you've ever seen for us, I'm actually not really tall at all. He's just fucking short.
I thought I was thinking.
But anyway,
Oh, it upset the hell out of him. He's not actually short.
upon discovering that they are in fact dealing with giant mother freaking ants, Medford asks a reasonable enough question. That is, you remember them nuclear blasts that were going on there and there that time about? Whereabouts was that happening? Oh, just down the road there. Really? So that was 9 years ago. 9 years of radiation later, giant freaking ants.
Radiation fucks everything up.
Yes, it does.
You'll find radiation quite responsible for a lot of these ants.
Gojira.
Or they're from space. Gojira.
Gosh,
Gojira. He's not an ant though, is he?
no, he is most
He's
definitely not
a
a
large
freaking ant.
lizard, if you were to put him in any sort of category.
Hmm.
Actually, no. Non-flying dragon. Because it breathes fire.
How about that?
That's it, literally, it's. I know
Giant
he's actually more
salamander.
lizard than. Yeah, but salamanders don't breathe fire.
All depends on what you're reading. Salamander is.
I read books of science.
A salamander has notoriously been used in mythology as being fire-breathing, being...
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
But in the real world, where they.
You mean
don't?
this real world?
Oh, no. No. We're not doing a Flashpoint conversation here right now.
I'm not about Flashpoint.
No,
I'm
I-
about what makes up reality and all the different universes in between. Anyway, getting back to the film. It's quickly decided, mainly...
You can feel the roiling up there. I love that. It's like, oh shit, there's going to be a long sentence. He took a breath in.
It's quickly decided by Dr. Medford, the local law, and the military that they soon call in, that the best thing in the world they can do is keep fracking quiet and not freak out the general populace,
Yeah.
while at the same time taking as many planes as they can get their hands on and trying to locate the nest that Medford is insistent is going to be around. You're going to friggin' notice it.
I had to call shenanigans on their plan there because I was like, is air support the best way to go if you're looking for stealth?
They weren't looking for stuff.
Yeah, but they didn't want the general populace finding out. Large airplanes
They're in the
of
middle of-
mass destruction. Pretty
No,
noticeable.
no. These are like the local cop shop airplanes that would go out doing
Oh,
recon in the
okay.
desert anyway.
Okay.
Actually,
No.
it was there
I'm not
was
up in my 1950s airplanes.
airplane and there was a helicopter. It was 2 helicopters. That was it. Airplane and a helicopter. There was definitely a helicopter because Patricia is in the helicopter and they discover the anthole, and it's decided okay.
It's not as sexy as it sounds.
Medford gives a really concise and, to be perfectly honest, entertaining at the time for what you might expect. Rundown of ant physiology, behavior, the best ways to deal with them, and
It's actually quite educational.
yeah, it is.
If it's all factual. you think it is actually?
Yeah.
Well, I won't lie to you. It sounded very science.
There was nothing that I saw that I would have disagreed with. I actually found Dr. Medford to be very entertaining. He's very
I thought the cast throughout this actually, in general, kind of carried the story pretty well.
yeah. I mean, you have to when it comes
But you
when it
can
comes
get
to
that
sci-fi
when it's like a 1954
B movie.
Yeah, when it's like a 1954 B movie, there's usually kind of a certain level of hammed up acting that went along with it.
Which is one of the things
Which
that actually,
is this, where these boys were pretty competent on the whole.
and that's actually one of the things. That's actually one of the things that set them apart from other films. The fact
Them
that
the actors, not them the ant.
no, I actually mean the film itself.
Oh, them the film, not them the ant.
One of the things that sets the film apart from a lot of its contemporaries and a lot of the stuff that came before it is the fact that
It's good.
they didn't go the way of parody that normally happens. There isn't a lot, if any, slapstick or any kind of humor whatsoever.
No, there's one or two little witty lines between people, which is very natural.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's nothing out of the ordinary.
But for the most part, the film itself plays out like a very serious, down-to-earth sci-fi horror movie.
Yeah.
And the creatures themselves are very believable once you're able to accept the notion that, radiation mutates everything.
Yeah.
To giant freaking proportions.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we have enough comic book evidence to back that up.
yeah.
So,
Great big green killing machine.
Great
Not killing
big-
machine unless you're an alien. Then it's just, saving machine.
Hulk, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. There's more radiation, it's radioactive, man.
Get
over that, them.
Actually, he was Chinese.
Radioactive, man?
In the comics, there actually was.
Well, tickle my paws and
was-
call me Charlie. So there's an actual radioactive man comic book.
Well, he would have been a character.
Simpsons?
No,
No, whole different thing.
serious Marvel character. He's part of the Winter Guard, along with
No idea what that is.
Dark Star.
Nope.
Kodiak? No, not Kodiak.
Nope.
They're a super team, the Russian version of the Avengers.
Ah,
the Soviet
okay.
version of the Avengers,
Okay.
basically.
What's his name? Omega Red?
No,
No,
they most definitely do not.
yeah, because I was
He's
like,
not a team player.
I just don't like Americans.
He does don't like anyone. Anyway,
Mm-mm.
getting back to the film itself. To be perfectly honest, the story plays out remarkably well. They deal with that initial nest fairly quickly, but what's cool is they, once again, using
Insects breed
actual...
like rabbits.
Well, yeah, using actual insect
Or
behaviour.
rabbits breed like insects, one of the either way, there's a lot of fucking going on down there.
Actually, Medford explains it that just there's only one fucking that ever goes on, but then the queen ant can reproduce for like 15 or 17 years afterwards.
Oh, it's like the fucking.
Yeah.
The fucking.
The males that
Done.
the males that the female ant can breed with die after they shag.
Mm.
So they've only got one purpose in life, much like
Well-
many of us.
I'll tell you, I would rather go out.
If you're gonna go with a smile.
I'd go like an ant because that's kind of a nice, graceful sort of
Nice.
done. Whereas with like a praying mantis, where she bites her head off while you're still on the job.
Once again, meet the Applegates.
Meet the goddamn praying mantises.
Hilarious film.
Hey, I made a weird reference that was actually tied into the show. Nice.
As I was saying, using actual ant behavior as a fantastic means of carrying the story, it allows them to basically go on this nice. Sorry, it allows the film to go on this nice cross-country adventure before eventually becoming a national crisis, to be perfectly honest. And I'm not going to give away too many details because there's an awful lot of us that probably haven't seen a film from 1954. I'm sure there are many of you that have, of course, because you're horror aficionados or whatever. But needless to say, it is, for its time, and even today, it stands up as being a damn good sci-fi B movie.
Damn straight. For you young whippersnappers out there, black and white doesn't equal shite.
No, it does not. In fact, sometimes it works better because it allows you to do what we do here best, which is accentuate the positives
and play down
hide
the negatives.
Thank you, Paul Heyman.
Thank you. Really good lighting.
ECW.
ECW. ECW. Oh, no, it's ECW now.
I don't give a frack what it used to be.
We're uncensored. ECW. ECW.
We're real old school. EC fucking W.
I'll tell you what, my fucking having bad nicknames for you the last couple of weeks. I'm going to say bearded compatriot. There we go. My
Sure,
bearded,
right.
my bearded amigo. Will be show these lovely people a trailer. Yeah. And then we'll be back in a couple of moments.
With more
Tim
creepy
McLaughlin.
crawler
Boring.
goodness.
Okay, well, the trailer won't be boring.
No.
Tim McLaughlin? Tim McLaughlin.
Oh, you think we're boring? Oh, well.
I tell you, gentlemen, science has agreed that unless something is done and done quickly, man, as the dominant species of life on Earth, will be extinct within a year. Direction of the President of the United States, stay in your homes. I repeat, stay in your homes. Your personal safety, the safety of the entire city, depends upon your full cooperation with the military authorities. Yes, cities, nations, even civilization itself, threatened with annihilation, because in one moment of history-making violence, nature, mad, rampant, wrought its most awesome creation. For born in that swirling inferno of radioactive dust were things so horrible, so terrifying, so hideous. There is no word to describe them.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true, and there shall be destruction and darkness come up in creation, and the beast shall reign over the earth.
Yes, the earth, the skies above and the seas below, infested by swarms of nightmare creatures, crueler, deadlier than the armored giants of prehistoric eras. Here is a wild, headlong flight into terror, as the desert erupts with the grim battle for survival. Here is a fear-frenzied moment of suspense, as mankind totters before a thing that multiplies faster than it can be killed. Here is a desperate plunge into the black depths of the earth, where human courage challenges the brute force, the slashing jaws, the poison fangs that guard the subterranean nest, where the beast spawns its terrible progeny. To all units, condition red, drain 267 is the target area. Repeat, condition red, drain 267 is the target area.
Is there any type of gas we could use?
No, we can't take a chance. It might poison the whole city.
Like,
Back to the
do-
studio.
oh,
Do you know what I liked about the 1950s? And don't ask me why I like it in the 1950s and I don't like it in current WWE promos. Well, not current anymore because they don't do it, but the words on the screen. 1950s promos, I love the old words on the screen.
Sorry.
Promos from back then, words on screen they have. Wrestling promos from today, also words on screen.
No,
have.
they stopped doing it, thank the
I
gods.
know I mentioned that. Weird how I hate that, but 1950s ones don't bother me.
That's because 1950s ones have class and don't seem like they're just trying to be hip and cool and
Doing,
touch
doing,
phones. Actually, weirdly enough, the film itself was originally supposed to be done in 3D, but with color grading and stuff. But in test shots, they ended up sticking with the color grading and decided to just go with big widescreen black and white.
Yep.
Try and really
Accentuate the positives and play down the negatives.
no. In
Make
this
those
case,
ants look fucking big.
no. In this case, it was because they were hoping that that same format, which had worked for the Creature from 50,000 Fathoms, would work here.
That makes a lot of sense.
There was even a couple of... They were going to shoot some of the scenes with a 3D camera, but there was something wrong with the camera on the day, so they never bothered doing it. But there are still scenes in the film that were done as if they were meant for 3D, like when the lads are flaming the nest, the flamethrowers. The flames are deliberately aimed at the camera so that it would have had a 3D effect.
Nice.
As it was, though, the only colour grading or anything that was done was for the title of the film itself, where it has them in big red and blue lettering, and just kind of really give a punch at the start of it. And
also because the red and blue lettering would have been for 3D back then.
Precisely. So, yeah, if not for one malfunction, them could have been a 3D movie, and I don't know if it would have been as successful, to be perfectly honest, because a lot of the 3D stuff back then, yeah. That's one way of putting it. However, the film did succeed on many, many levels, and one of the least of which being to inspire generations of filmmakers to go ahead and use insects as basically the basis of their films. And I think the next film on our list did fantastically.
1997.
Yeah.
Mimics.
Once again, Guillermo del
But not
Toro.
Mimic.
Once again, Guillermo del Toro decides to show us exactly why he has this.
We've been having a bit of a Del Toro off there the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not our fault.
He does good movies.
Yeah, and he said it himself that this one kind of allowed him to accentuate his fetish of insects and clockwork like stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the insects in this are fucked up.
They're brilliant and they're usable in RPGs where you kill people. I've used them in games.
Okay.
It was hilarious. Anyway, the film starts off with
This is this realities conversation we were having earlier, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
This is me being a massive nerd that plays role-playing games with his friends.
What?
Not, tabletop role-playing
I
games.
know. I'm aware.
Yeah.
Roll the dice, be a werewolf.
Funnily enough, yes. But anyway, what's the disease that's ravaging Brooklyn at the time?
It's a nasty one. That's what matters. Move on. No, it's not the plague. It's studio audience. It's 1997
Strickler's
Brooklyn.
disease.
It's 1997 Brooklyn. The plague have been resolved. Thank you for the participation, though.
Strickler's disease, that's what it is. Strickler's disease is plaguing Manhattan or Brooklyn. It's Manhattan, isn't it?
Manhattan.
Yeah, Manhattan. And is,
Spills in Brooklyn at a later date.
and is basically leading to kids dying in vast numbers. There's nothing that seems to be, there's nothing that can be done to stop this disease.
No, it's just horsing through people left, right and centre.
Yep, until Mira Sorvino, as Dr. Susan Tyler, comes along with a brilliant notion. Rather than attacking the disease, we'll attack the disease carriers, i.e. the cockroach. So she goes along and she genetically alters cockroaches. Yeah. Combining them with mantis and termite DNA, I think, to create a species they call the Judas breed, which will eradicate the cockroach and which will also theoretically die out.
Awesome name.
I was going to say die out itself rather quickly.
Yeah.
They've messed with the metabolism.
Head in, eat them all, die off.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, they secrete. Their secretions basically are toxic to cockroaches.
Yeah.
Wipe them all out. And sure enough, it works. Strickler's disease is eradicated.
Works kind of.
Well, it did the job it was supposed to do.
It did 50% of the job it was supposed to.
Well, no,
50% of the job was kill the cockroaches. The other 50% was kill yourselves.
yeah,
It forgot the second half of the mission.
yeah, it's got a suicide.
Mission incomplete.
It's got a suicide gene, which unfortunately gets a little bit overridden by the whole sped up metabolism thing,
Yes, it does.
which isn't helped by the sped up breeding cycle thing.
Because they fuck like rabbits.
Yep.
Or rabbits fuck like them, one or the other.
Yeah. 3 years later,
It's
however,
back to the rabbit or the cockroach argument.
3 years later, it seems the genetic modifications have taken an interesting twist, as there is, how can I put this? Giant freaking insects walking around that you think are people in overcoats in a darkly lit alley until they go all grab you and then shove you down stuff and eat you slowly.
Yeah, don't forget this thing.
I think.
Legs. Super sharp legs.
Oh.
And the slicey.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're bred to be a killing organism, so,
Yeah, I know. I was just, in case, we're I know it's 1997, bro, but we're running on the assumption people here haven't seen this.
Okay.
Paint a fucking picture. Get the brush. Whack it off.
We're not doing Deadpool Ross again, are we?
No.
Bob Pool?
Bob Fool. I love it. Bob Fool. Let's get a little bit of meridian blue up here. And just paint that in.
And
Do
then
little V's for birds.
and just over here. Lots of blood. Just
and you
lots.
gotta whack it off.
There you
Whack
go.
it off. Right off the table. Whack it off.
I think you might have killed your phone.
Oh no, I whacked it off. A lot of whacking off going on the show today.
Apparently we're killing audience members according to some of the messages I'm receiving. Katie, don't die. She's choking to death on ice, apparently.
Bonus, if you can hold your breath long enough, it'll just melt out.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Anyway, as I was saying, one of the first victims that we see in the Mimic film is a priest
You're not wrong.
who is chased onto the top of a building and is killed before he goes out the side. No, he goes out the side and then dies, yeah. Anyway, the law goes in to investigate the building that he was in and finds out, lo and behold, that the priest was, well, basically,
Devoured, stabbed, murdered.
I was going to say a triad flesh peddler who had a bunch of women locked up in the bottom of the basement doing God knows what.
That too.
Yeah. So the building is quarantined because the gods only know what's going around, while Dr. Tyler's husband, who is Dr. Peter Mann.
Good name.
Dr. Mann, there we go. Who assisted...
I don't know where you're laughing. Talk to Del Toro. Talk to Del Toro.
Works for the CDC, is called in, quarantines the entire building. His assistant... I knew he was called Josh. His assistant, Josh Thanos, Cable, Brolin, there we go, goes in to investigate with him, and at one point comments on the fact that there is, for some reason, shit on the ceiling. So, that's pretty...
I know it's not our most professional show. It's been fucking fun, though.
That's what we do, eh? That's what we do.
Josh Thanos.
Well, I was thinking about calling him a Goonie, but,
I am here to take over your world. Whatever you say, Josh. Whatever you say. You call me Thanos! No.
Think about it. Once upon a time, he was held in place with nothing more
I don't know why
than
he's
an
slagging at me. Beat the fuck out of me.
And once upon a time, he was held in place by nothing more than an exercise machine. Not one of them stretchy things. Goonies, dude.
He's in the Goonies? What?
He's the elder brother.
Is he?
Yeah. How did you not know that?
It's a kid's movie.
It's the Goonies.
Yeah, I know, but do you know the amount of horror knowledge I've shoved into this fucking brain? Certain other stuff has to go out, like general English went, kids' movies went, memory went.
Anyway, I'm just going to...
Some of my basic mathematical skills went as well.
Anyway,
5 million horror movies.
yeah. While all this is going on, Dr. Tyler is... she gets visited by 2 street kids that bring her insects every now and then. Butterflies mainly. One of the insects they brought along this time is labelled the weird bug.
Yeah.
So she takes it out and it's about that freaking long.
And it's their bloody payday, supposedly.
Yeah, although they sell it off for like $10.
Yeah, they sell it off for $10 and some other shit because stupid kids don't know they're bugs.
Pretty much.
And they thought they had a dead bug in a box. Little did they know.
Unfortunately, Dr. Tyler becomes a little bit suspicious, not just because the thing's this fucking large.
It's because the box starts going like fucking this on the table.
Well, there's that, yeah.
That was my first indication that that's not your normal bug.
And this creepy crawler looks awfully fracking familiar. And lo and behold, after doing a bit of a test on the bugger, it turns out
Betsy.
It's the Judas breed. So they are not only alive...
They establish it after it tries to bite her fucking hand off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they need to investigate this forthwith and go down to...
Post-haste.
Yes, post-haste. Go down to the subway where the kids found the bugs, where they run into... Oh, man.
Shitloads of trouble.
Officer Leonard Norton. There we go. As plays by Charles S. Dutton. Dutton. Oh, for frank's sake. Who's awesome, to be perfectly honest. He's in a bunch of films. He's brilliant. he takes umbrage to them breaking into this place and demands they come back with, or breaking into this kind of unused locker, I guess, to find the bugs, and demands they come back with a warrant and all the rest of it.
Yep.
While this is going on, Dr. Tyler notices Chewie and no.
Chewie.
Oh, what's the name of his father? Remy? No. Remy's the chick. Manny. There we go. Shoe Shiner Manny, and he's autistic.
I won't lie to you, it was all Star Wars after that Chewie version. I was like, what's the name of his father? Luke. Oh, yeah, I'm your father. Okay, how does that work in reverse?
No. Anyway, Shoe Shiner Manny and his autistic son Chewie, who imitates the sound of every footstep he hears and can recognize shoes at a glance, memorize them, and is also spotted.
Weird skill, oddly specific, but very handy in this case.
Yeah, has also noted an individual he calls Mr. Funny Shoes, who makes an interesting clicking noise that Chewie can't help but imitate. We'll get back to how that fucks with your shit later on.
Yes.
Eventually, the warrant is sussed out. Dr. Mann comes back with Josh and Officer Norton.
Dr. Mann.
They go down into the sewers,
Every
or
time.
they go down into the underside of the undertunnels of the subway system. Much to Officer Norton's chagrin, he's like, "Oh, for frack's sake, we'll have fine."
Yeah,
Takes
thinks it's just a babysitting walk.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Dr. Tyler, meanwhile, is being stalked by Mr. Funny Shoes, who came to claim the bug that she had and kind of freaked her out a little bit.
Yep. I want it. Why? It's my baby. Bit weird. All right.
It's my bug baby now. What?
I want my bug baby back, grips.
Give me my bug baby back.
I want my bug baby back, grips.
Anyway, Josh, Dr. Mann, and Officer Norton go deeper and deeper into the sewers, past the Mole Men tunnels. Yes. That's how they refer to the hobos that live down there in their interesting graffiti, which warns
It's called hieroglyphics, man. Get it right. They're working on the new race.
Actually, technically, it kind of is, because like there's markings. It's cool. At one point, Officer Norton is describing the markings like, "Beware, man with gun." It's me. Ha! Kind of like proud of the fact,
Yeah.
I can't stay here.
They're working on. It'll all crumble one day, probably because of the massive cockroaches that they were all fucking aware of long before us.
You see, that's just it.
Fucking hobos. No
Yeah.
stage any of them come up and go, don't mean to shock you. 25-foot cockroach down there, mate. Although maybe they did. And they're like, crazy hobo.
If they got away and didn't get it,
Oh yeah, that's true. I feel they did.
I feel they got it a lot.
I feel they did.
I feel they got
I feel-
an awful lot.
I'm going to throw a coin up. I feel it's going to land right in the middle. That's how I feel.
I feel
Because some of those boys are waiting.
I feel that Dr. Mann, Josh, and Officer Norton regretted going down into the subway tunnels when they found the cavern of shit.
Oh, the poop.
When the question has to be asked, you ever seen any shit like this? And Officer Norton eloquently puts, "No, man, I've never seen any shit like this. I don't think anyone's ever seen shit like this, because no one ever shit like this. Who the fuck is going to climb up on the ceiling and create something like this?" Because it's just hanging shit everywhere.
Roof poo.
It's not...
Poosicles. No. Shitting mites?
Stalactites.
Stalactites. No.
Stalagmites. Stalactites cling tightly. Stalagmites grow mighty. Yes.
Shitting tights.
It's not long after this that Norton and Mann find themselves inadvertently trapped in the subway.
Someone gets Urban Dictionary now.
Find themselves inadvertently trapped in the subway when the platform that Norton is on and crushes a bug on gives way and there's no way up. So Josh is sent on a fool's errand to go and get help for them.
Yeah.
It doesn't go well.
Yeah, because Josh can't climb
No!
for some reason.
What the hell? Is that why you got your floating chair, Thanos?
Yeah.
Because you can't climb?
You know the way 90s horror movies, slashers, sci-fi, anything, they had a tendency of having one complete bloody numpty in there that just would do something so goddamn it, you know, like the standard, "Why are you running up the stairs? The stairs with the no doors and the fucking floor above the ground, you idiot," that kind of thing. Josh, on the other hand, a much simpler problem. Why are you able to climb the entire way out of the hole, but even though half of your body is above the hole, You
still
can't
have
seem to
to
pull
reach
yourself
this
out of the
cord.
hole. You need to reach for a cord. That obviously isn't going to work because your hands are fucking slippy.
And even if it did work, odds are you're heavier than the rickety machine it's attached
Now,
to.
you know, might ask, if his hands are so slippy that he can't grab the cord and pull himself out, how did he get himself out of the hole? I didn't write the fucking story. I asked that question my fucking self.
Doesn't matter because he gets.
His hands are slippy. But if his hands were slippy, how did he get out of the goddamn hole? Because that was a much more extenuating part of the climb than the work. This is the issues with me in movies. It's shit like this I dwell on.
While they're down in the sewer, Dr.
John realism with him pulling himself out of a hole by a rope. 25-foot cockroach. Totally fine with. You're pulling yourself out of holes wrong, you
It's not
idiot.
25 feet.
Yeah, whatever.
They're only like 6.
That cock. Yeah, okay, 6 foot. What? It's a big fucking cockroach.
And you make people.
And the many people.
Dr. Tyler.
I'm aware. I watched it.
Dr. Tyler at one point falls asleep, waiting for the lads to come back up, or waiting for Dr. Men to come back up.
Bad move, Dr. Tyler.
Because when she wakes up, well, look, there's an interesting person making strange sounds, and oh, good God, it's a giant insect.
It's a giant insect with a strangely constructed human face.
It's awesome.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Its human face is like armour.
Yes.
Yes, because there's a bug head underneath it. Hmm. What is it?
This leads to Dr. Tyler being trapped down.
Have you seen it? Studio audience. No, that's literally like it's.
Yeah.
I just thought like
Yeah.
That's in the second film.
Second film. Which we didn't do.
It is good though.
It is quite good.
And has the character Remy in the first film. Same actor, same character in the
Nice.
second film. And it was only while watching the first film back again that I realised what happened and how she ends up attracting the attention of the mimic bug in the second film.
Continuities are good.
Yeah, I like
Um,
that.
Oh, memory. Well, not memory, but
We're not going to go into many more details in the film itself because, to be perfectly honest, it's a damn good watch and we've only covered maybe about a half an hour of it.
yeah.
Maybe a little bit more or
Well,
less.
it's, as you can understand, to go deeper into the sewer, some general hijinks happen. As you probably assumed, even though they're bigger than a normal cockroach, they still have the mating habits of a normal cockroach.
Yeah.
So there's a healthy amount of the little fuckers down there.
Yeah. Overall, this film shows us exactly why Guillermo del Toro his film. I think it typifies the look of a del Toro film, especially
Actually, they should have had a much easier job of it because if you think about it, they had a Thanos and a Cable in one guy and a Sabretooth. What? The specky face with the glasses, your one's boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's Sabretooth.
What?
In the movies. In Wolverine.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. It's
First
the same guy
Sabretooth-
that's in I can't remember the first name. Donovan's the last guy's name. Something Donovan. I can't remember.
No.
It's not a horror show.
Jeremy Norton.
Oh no, it's not him. Is that him? No wait, hang on, I might have the wrong guy.
I think you do.
Oh wait, I'll just have a look at my pictures.
Yeah, you do that. As I was saying,
Goddamn sleep deprivation.
Mimic typifies a Del Toro film, not just the look of it, but the story pacing, the creature effects, the storytelling itself, and the way the characters are developed. Because once again, films like this, the reason they stick with us is because you actually.
completely fucking ignore me.
Okay, I knew that wasn't.
I just saw the photo and was like, what the fuck?
There was 2 different Sabretooths, and he wasn't either of them.
What in the fuck? One of them was your man from Ray Donovan. That's the name of the show.
Okay.
But Ray Donovan isn't that guy.
Okay.
I have the right show and the right movie, wrong dude.
I'm assuming you're on about the guy that played Sabretooth, or played Victor, I suppose, in
Wolverine.
Wolverine Origins.
Yes.
Yeah, because Tyler Mane played Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie. Same guy that played Mike Myers in the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
I didn't mean in all the X-Men movies. I was talking about the one that he was in. But it was wrong anyway. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
On that note, perhaps we should go to the trailer.
Trailer.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not high enough. That could be the problem.
This will be fixed.
Trailer. We'll work on that.
Strickler's disease came to New York like a thief in the night. It was deadly, threatening to steal an entire generation of our children from before our eyes.
Since it has proven to be virtually immune to chemical control, we had to find a new avenue of attack. We recombined DNA to create a biological counteragent. We call it the Judas breed.
3 years ago, a team of brilliant scientists found a way to stop a deadly disease. Now, the cure they created has taken on a life of its own.
So you think your little Frankenstein's got the better of you? There's some weird shit here. Lots of it.
They all died in the lab.
But you let them out. Evolution is a way of keeping things alive.
Sometimes an insect will evolve to mimic its predator. A fly can look like a spider. A caterpillar can look like a snake. They are breeding.
Whatever it becomes, it destroys.
Peter, these are lungs.
Yesterday, it became human.
If that thing has been around, how come nobody's ever seen it?
I think we have.
You see the size of that thing?
We changed its DNA.
Survive this.
Mira Sorvino, Jeremy Northam, Josh Brolin, Charles Dutton, Giancarlo Giannini, F. Murray Abraham. Mimic.
And we're backsies. What's up? It's like a show thing there.
It is, yeah.
The smoke machine broke. You gotta cover it up somehow.
Um,
Next up. Oh no, sorry. Conclusions of.
I was just going to say, yeah, Mimic itself as a film is outstanding science fiction horror. Once again, as I said, it's, for me, I think it's the reason why when I heard Del Toro was going to be doing the Hellboy films, I was like, yes, it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
That was the first film that popped into my head. It did spawn 2 sequels, one of them being a direct sequel, as I said, with the character Remy and the actress reprising her role of Remy in the second film. And as I said, if you watch the first movie, you can figure out why what happens to her happens, because she makes a sound with her bike at one point. And anyway, the third film, on the other hand, is just whatever the hell Lance Henriksen needed the job for at the time. I hope it was worth it, man. That was just...
Nobody will believe this is a horror if you're not in it.
Do you want to know why? Because it was a remake of the old film The Sentinel, except throw the Mimic into it. Paranoid guy watching everything from inside in his room. Was it Jimmy Stewart or something was the original?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. But as it is, the first 2 films, the first one especially, very, very, very watchable. Especially if you're into your gory creature feature films, you know, it's got everything. Yeah.
Does have everything. Right, we're going to make it quick into the next movie because we're running overtime now.
Are we?
Yeah, because we started early, accidentally.
Oh. Oops.
See, when it was at 1:45, I was like, it's 5:02, because I just saw the second 5.
Also, I need to address something. Katie wasn't choking on ice earlier on, she was choking on rice. That makes much more sense.
Right, you won't melt rice. You should probably go to a doctor and get that taken.
I'm sure she'll be fine. Yeah, okay. Next one?
Next film is, I was going to say the 2002 classic, but that's not. It's not.
No.
It's not.
But it is fun.
It's not a bad movie by any means. It's just, it did get completely AF'd by critics.
Yeah, they're critics.
Yes, get critics. Not movie fans.
Yep.
They're angry people.
The film...
Angry people with a topic. It could be any topic. Talk about food. Fucking food. With your stupid overcooked pasta and blah blah blah. No talk about movies. Fucking movies. Why didn't you entertain me in the exact way that I wanted to be entertained, as I wanted it, when I wanted it? It's like you're not a mind reader or something.
I'm going to have to fix that.
Necronomicon.
I left it at home.
That's not a future episode. Mind readers, actually, I think.
Scanners.
Scanners. You can bash Friday the 13th. 5, 6.
Yeah, we covered Friday the 13th.
Yeah, but we didn't get... She's got the mental person. She took out a doc with her brain, man. That's good stuff.
Right, anyway. Okay, on to the next film.
2000 movie. Or sorry, not 2000. 2002. Eight-Legged Freaks.
Wherein David Arquette spends most of the movie running away from spiders.
Yeah.
Great big mother-loving spiders caused by a chemical spill? Chemical dumping?
Chemical dumping under the mall in the town that's owned by the mayor, who's a total douche.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, as we covered in ants, or sorry, not ants, as we covered in them, radioactive waste and anything with a pulse results in much larger versions of those things, a large green Hulk.
It's not helped by the fact that Joshua the spider farmer's entire crop of various different spiders, orb weavers, jumping spiders, spiders that will rip the fucking life out of you, all of them managed to get themselves infected, which means that all of
Well,
them
he goes off out into the desert to feed his little buggy wuggies because he's a spider junkie. He's got all the spiders. And those little buggy wuggies, he's specifically picking up because he's like, look at the size of these fucking things. My spiders are going to have a chow down. I've never seen buggy wuggies of this size. I'm saying buggy wuggies because I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what they were. But they were buggy wuggies. So, those semi-radioactive buggy wuggies go back to his highly poisonous, highly dangerous, if not somewhat attractive, and rather cool-looking spiders. As you can imagine, chowing down on radioactive food equals radioactive spider, and as I just explained to the studio audience again, if you have radioactive anything near any form of a thing with a pulse, it will go. Thus, the scene is set for Eight-Legged Freaks. David Arquette, I think, they did the smart casting with David Arquette in this because it's that kind of slightly charming, slightly possibly dropped as a child.
Like in Ready to Rumble.
Like in Ready to Rumble.
I
Or
think he's just being
in
himself.
Scream. Or in pretty much any David Arquette movie. Bar that
think
one
he's
where
just
he was a killer. There's one with David Arquette as a bad guy. Yeah, someone cast David Arquette as a bad guy. Good casting.
Was it WCW? Because wasn't he a heel champ?
Yeah. We won't talk about that. Look, some things in wrestling should just never be brought up. I like David Arquette as much as the next guy.
How will we learn from our mistakes? As a people. Humanity.
Yeah, but look, it was a promo tactic, wasn't it? It was the Blair Witch of wrestling.
It was time with the fact that they'd done a film called Ready to Rumble.
It had totally signed the fact that they'd done a film called Ready to Rumble that features a predominantly large amount of WCW wrestlers. All of the WCW wrestlers. And a 3-stage cage.
Yes, which they actually did twice.
I'm glad they did, because entertaining as fuck. Not as many people fall through the cage as you'd be hoping for. Slightly disappointing. Strangely enough, we could keep talking about the wrestling and people wouldn't actually notice because it's a David Arquette movie. No, we won't. Eight-Legged Freaks. Let me just pull up the cast list here. Talk there for a sec. That was a lot quicker than I thought.
Oh, me talking or are you pulling up the cast list?
Bit of both. So you've got a small town off in the middle of nowhere. What are we pointing at here?
None. I'm not pointing at anything. Small town, middle of nowhere.
Small town in the middle of nowhere. David Arquette shows back up. His dad used to own a mine in the vicinity of the area. Prosperity. Thank you. The name of the town would have gone from my head completely. Cool. Good team. Sorry. Bad team. So they live in prosperity. The town's gone to shit. There's no money there and stuff like that. David Arquette returns because Pops has died.
Yeah.
And he's inherited the mine. And he's adamant that he's going to turn the mine around and come in and all of that kind of thing. And then the nasty mayor guy is looking to take over the mine because he wants to build loads more malls. He's one of those kind of guys that it's all mall. What's the name of your town? Oh, Mall. Mall.
Mall state.
There's Mall, and there's the town mall, and there's the educational town mall. The stable mall.
Mall. Eight-Legged Freaks is basically your typical B-movie comedy horror with...
But in the 2000s.
Yeah, but with all the characteristics that you want, like the fucking hard-nosed town sheriff, Samantha Parker.
Yeah. But it's also the hard-nosed town sheriff / love interest.
Yeah.
Because there's a bit of background story there.
Yeah, along with her rebellious teenage daughter, Scarlett Johansson.
Not actual character's name. Just to let you know, Ashley is the actual character's name.
You got the town, what would you call them?
There's a pretty namey cast in it, because if you go through it, it's all people that, I can't remember the name of the character, but I can tell you who's playing them.
I can remember the characters and I can't remember the actors.
Okay, it's going to be... We got it covered, so guys. We got it covered.
Harlan, the town paranoid fucking conspiracy nut.
Tears. Oh, yes. He's great.
Yeah.
He's great.
Slash
I
radio
will give him
DJ.
credit. In a lot of movies, they usually turn out to be complete little bitches. Do you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, oh no, the aliens or whatever.
No, Harlan
Whereas this
was
guy's
actually-
like, give me that gun. I'm taking out these spider aliens. Because
he's convinced they're aliens.
Yeah, there's no talking Harlan out of the fact that it's aliens.
There's
Could be fucking aliens. Who knows? I've seen them.
Apparently,
Them wasn't aliens either, mate.
there's an extended ending where he's still having that conversation with somebody.
Yes. Yes. As you were saying, Eight-Legged Freaks is absolutely hilarious, start to finish. A little bit too hilarious, and I think it's why it got frowned upon by a little. It's much more on the comedy side of comedy horror.
I think it was just a case of people were expecting, oh, giant monsters, they're finally done a giant spider film. We haven't seen anything like that since the 50s. And completely forgot the fact that a lot of those films, like I said, them set itself apart by not being campy and parody-ish. And the fact
The
that
2 or 3 really, really big bug movies from that era don't actually reflect the general content of the bug movies from that era. It's why they stood out, I suppose.
And with Eight-Legged Freaks, they decided to go with the general content, which is that kind of tongue-in-cheek slapstick.
You caught the stupid off me.
Not quite there yet. Just a little bit of verbal diarrhea.
For Sean.
Shit just pours out. Anyway,
Occasionally.
I forgot what
Usually you're the talker.
I know, I derailed myself. Oh, that was it. Sense of humour. Which completely put off a lot of people that thought that they were going to be watching a serious film, as opposed to realising that fucking David Arquette is in it, and therefore it's going to be about as serious as a fucking Three Stooges film, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
But
It's weird because people give out about how he's always never serious stuff he's in. And then when he does do something serious, like, that shit, you can't do serious stuff.
That's why he doesn't do it.
That's why he doesn't do it, yeah, 100%.
There's a lot of the gags that I remember kind of going, okay, fair enough, yeah. There was one that there's a segment where there's a spider in a ventilation shaft and there's a cat got in after it. And there's a fight. And it's cool because it's brilliant.
Yeah.
You see imprints coming out through so there's like, cat, spider,
Yeah.
cat. It's kind of like,
It is very cartoony in certain sections.
Yeah.
Like, even the noises out of the spiders are kind of, you hear them, like, it's all this kind of
communication. Like.
Yeah. But it's in a very cartoony manner. I'll tell you what, because we're going to be rounding off soon enough, we're going to cut to the trailer now, and then we'll come back and we'll say our final bits of it.
Yeah.
And then we'll say about the thing.
I have one funny story about the first time I saw this film, but I'll do it when I come back.
Okay. That's good. I'm done with that.
Okay.
I like funny stories, kids. Thanks. Back in a moment.
It's a beautiful morning here in Prosperity, Arizona. Right here at KFRD, the only source for the inside dope on space aliens and when they plan to invade. It's time for America to wake up, people! Wake up before it's too late! People are saying, well, you know, it's coyotes and it's wolves, but we know the truth.
exactly is that? Spider-Man.
Our town is being attacked by giant spiders.
They're here! They're here!
Warner Brothers Pictures presents the biggest,
Nastiest mutant spider movie of all time.
Get ready! Oh yeah, this is going.
Get back, you eight-legged freaks!
Hey, Spidey!
Thank you.
Yeah, know it was good.
Yeah.
Diggerfeast.com.
Don't think it's around anymore.
I will,
Like 16 years ago.
I will say it did get badly slated on the CGI side of it, and I think some bits were a bit noticeable, but
You see, here's the thing.
overall I thought it was alright.
People are probably comparing it to the CGI in big budget films that are coming out at the time, not realizing, hey, it's a B movie. It's supposed to look a certain way.
It was a relatively big budget for.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, I know it's supposed to be that style.
At the end of the day, you have films.
But I don't think it actually. That was my point. I don't think they actually looked that bad.
Yeah.
And what I did appreciate, opposed to it being like a one spider thing, was you got this very large variety of spiders that all had their own
unique
stuff. Like
personality
you had the big mama spider, you had the really poisonous
Uh,
spiders,
Consuela.
the jumping spider, Consuela. Yeah, you had the jumping spiders that were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Really, like that dirt bike race with the jumping
Yeah.
spiders and stuff is absolutely epic. Epic. And you get to see a total douchehole piss his pants, which is also really cool.
First time I saw the film, myself and a buddy went to see it.
Yeah.
No one else in the cinema, so we said we'd actually just sit at opposite sides of the cinema.
Nice.
So we're sitting there chilled out watching this,
Great friends.
and like fucking running commentary, and this guy walks in, comes in, sits down, takes a seat. After a few minutes, like we kind of dummy up anymore. After a few minutes, I realised I know him. Like, hi, Martin. There he is. Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute. Are we the only three? Yep. And for the rest of the film, it was the three of us just running commentary on the film. That fight, the ventilate, we were actually, go on, you can get it, go on. Pshwa. It's hilarious.
I really like that ventilation shaft. That movie should have been in 3D. I agree with you, Shay, to be honest.
Isn't there a way to do films in 3D now? Not like
Yeah, you buy a 3D film and you put the 3D glasses on.
No. There is a way of hacking the infrared thing on a Nintendo Wii and setting it up in such a way that you basically have 3D. There are ways of hacking this stuff. It can actually be done. Because I have a tech friend, and he was very interested in doing it at one point, till he realized that he couldn't afford a Wii to hack up and turn into all this stuff because it was no longer applicable. One of the main things he wanted to do was a virtual desktop.
That'd be good. We could say that bother. I was just thinking Hellraiser in 3D would be fucking unreal.
Yeah. Basically, it's not actually creating 3D, it's just tricking your eye into thinking because of the way perception was. But yeah, anyway, yeah. Sorry.
I'm just downloading Chicken Wasp.
Oh, good gods, we're still doing that?
Yeah, of course we didn't. Of course we're doing that.
Okay.
And I'm also going to, because we got a little bit of horror news that doesn't have anything to do with bugs.
Are we sure Chicken Wasp doesn't already have a running commentary?
I can just leave on the Chicken Wasp running commentary, it's all fine. So, we don't, what was I going to say? Yeah, we have a little bit of news that isn't horror, or sorry, it is totally horror related, but it's not insect horror related. Wait, let me look at the crew. Nope, not insect horror related. It's all old school classic monster horrors. So, if any of you were playing a game a couple of years ago called Terror Drone, where you had Freddy and Pinhead and all the boys beating the bejesus out of each other in Mortal Kombat Street Fighter.
Yeah, it was great. I love playing Undead Jason.
Undead Jason. They've brought out a much slicker looking version that is on a Kickstarter campaign at the moment. You can go to the emeraldwarside.com website to read more about it, but go over and throw some money to that because It's a fuckload of fun. I can tell you that for a fact. We had an entire horror convention entertained playing that.
I lost.
You got the head kicked off you by a 9-year-old.
Yes, I did.
Repeatedly, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat everyone else at the tournament, but funnily enough, couldn't beat the kid.
Yeah. I will point out that 9-year-old had magic fingers or something because he just murdered all the people.
I've never seen me playing Street Fighter against someone that hasn't played the game before.
It's very easy to look impressive against anybody who doesn't
No,
know the
you
game.
don't do that because then you don't get them to play the game ever again.
Oh, yes. You're trying to say you let the 9-year-old win? In the tournament.
It wasn't a tournament. He came along to play the game. I just happened to be beating everyone else that came along to play the game. The only one that could actually beat me was Simon.
9-year-old?
Oh no, Dave Cherry. Fair dues, Dave Cherry kicked the crap out of me.
9-year-old, who's now 11-year-old.
Yeah.
If you happen to be around your old in the Limerick
Sorry,
area, please give us a shout and we will terror drum this out. You could have got better. Live.
Maybe he might have.
Oh, yeah. Live. So anyway, terror drum. What?
I wasn't saying anything.
Okay. So terror drum, make sure to go out. The trailer looks epic as well.
Yeah, actually it does.
Go check it out on their Kickstarter. As I said, there's an Emerald Gore Society article about it, and there is links to the Kickstarter and all of that jazz down there. And then, so we're rounded off on 8-Legged Freaks, which means we're rounded off on the show, which means it's time for Chicken Wasp. Talk away there for a moment, because
how to put this into context? Once upon a time.
Whoops.
I was going to say, once upon a time, nature was revealed in all its splendor to us in the middle of a lovely barbecue when somebody noticed that there was a bit of chicken floating in the air. And we realized that it was attached to a wasp.
Goddamn chicken wasp is what?
And the little bugger kept coming back. So we decided, you know what? We're going to turn you into a movie star.
Would it turn him into a movie star?
That is true. That thing went around YouTube for a whole week.
I'm going to tell you the astounding amount of YouTube views that the movie star has. What are we at? 35 views.
Yep. Whole week.
30, whole week.
Yep.
Oh yeah, weeking it out. So, oh yeah.
Cunt.
Okay, so
Cunt robbing meat.
Just hide that for a minute. Okay, so that's the end of the GORECAST tonight. We're going to end on Chicken Wasp. I said it.
Okay.
It's very rare that I have footage already shot.
Okay.
So, sorry about the slight
haphazardness of the
haphazardness of it. As we said, there was a whole other show planned, and for anyone who gets our articles out in Amino or on Emerald Gore Society, apologies that there wasn't one out today because I didn't know what the fuck I was writing about.
Yeah.
And by the time we figured out what we were writing about, it's too late to write about it.
Pretty much.
Time to do the show.
Yeah.
Time to put my old big boy pants on, do the show. Showtime. Showtime. Okay, so from myself and the Giz, and soon to be Chicken Wasp, and from the GORECAST studio audience, good night, and we'll catch you all next Sunday, where you will have an article and we'll know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Most likely.
Probably.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Waspy cunt. Waspy cunt robbing meat.
I'm so much thrown off.
Watch him! Watch him!
What are you going to do it again?
He's going to do it again. He's pulling it off. That
Get up
little...
out my face. Give more chicken.
Give me my chicken.
It's beefcake. Beefcake.
As you can see, the Chicken Wasp,
Take it home.
if you go down, it's probably where you your head needs to be where you
Wait.
Here in the back garden of Paddy Joe,
I said, get up off my face.
we have a ghetto wasp.
This shit's mine. I saw it first.
Ghetto. What was that? You said ghetto wasp?
I said, this shit mine. I saw it first. Get up out my face there, Kim. I'm going to take that chicken.
Jesus,
stop dancing, Christ.
He is fucking the meat.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is fucking the meat.
Ghetto wasp is in fact fucking the meat, ladies and gentlemen. Goddamn ghetto wasp.
I'm like a vampire. I always fuck what I eat. Get up out my face.
Go on, you mad bastard.
My chicken. My chicken.
Yeah, you go for it, Waspy. You get it. Oh,
here we go.
Get a wasp. Get a wasp.
Fuck you now, come with me.
It's a big piece, though.
Sexy time's over. Now it's time for dinner time.
You notice how we've kind of accepted it as one of our own at this
Do you notice
No,
how
you're not. You haven't got
he
it.
does not give a shit?
Get out of my
That's
face.
the thing as well. It's like, how close are you now?
Everything I eat is cream filled.
Someone take joint.
Down.
Someone take this.
There we go.
Oh my God, he has it.
There we go.
He has it.
On the camera.
Most famous wasp in all
The media loves chicken wasp.
Time for media for Chicken Wasp to run for president.
Chicken wasp versus Trump.
Chicken wasp for president.
God, I'm tired.
I'm gonna handle public relations like I handle this chicken
By fucking it.
from behind.
I'm tempted on trying to help him, but I'd be worried little shit.
Chicken wasp now doesn't even give.
Nah, Chicken Wasp don't give a fuck.
Goddamn chicken
There
wasp.
he goes.
Oh, you have to go for a smaller bit.
Oh.
He nearly has it.
Nearly. Here he goes. There he goes. There he motherfucking
Chicken wasp.
goes. Oh. There he goes.